Welcome to our practice today. Prepared, I have a strap and a block. We will use both. The strap can oftentimes be replaced, shawl, towel, belt, whatever you might have in your home. Sometimes you can fake it as well and use your hands instead. So demonstrations today will be a little bit limited. I've got an issue in my right leg today. So my stands will be a bit shorter and I might fake some of the postures. So please, if you're practicing now or on the recording, be mindful of more my words than my actions. We will begin our practice lying down. So you might find your way down onto the mat. Have the block ready by your side. Sorry. And as you come to lie down on your back, perhaps you can extend the legs out. Maybe you already like to use a bolster to start with, or maybe placing your feet down onto the floor. I would love to begin with more awareness, as my intention today is to send some healing light into ourselves, and a light that we can then expand around us too. Once you've found your way down onto the floor, there's an option to close the eyes or stare to the ceiling. Noticing how you placed your body, sensations that might come to the surface, such as physical sensations, even the physical sensation of your breath. You might notice thoughts that you brought to the practice today, be they just logical thoughts or deeper thoughts. Perhaps you arrived here in a certain emotional condition, but please know that these conditions, they come and they go. It's nothing that we have to hold on to. It's something that is flowing. And as you might have found your resting place, you could start to become aware of the bridge of the nostrils. Feeling the gentle touch of air moving in and out of the nostrils. Perhaps as you focus on the bridge of the nostrils and the breath flowing, you might become aware that one nostril is more dominant than the other, or easier to breathe through. Just noticing this changes as well multiple times during the day. One or the other nostril might be dominant. Now you take a note of this now. And then we start on your inhalation to think about the sound so. On the exhalation of the sound hum. The meaning of the mantra, I am or I am that. So you're breathing into so, you're exhaling to the sound of hum. It is a silent sound that we're working with, while your attention stays on the bridge of the nostrils. So hum. After a few rounds of this breath, the same nostril is still challenged. Bring your attention more into the nostril that's not properly breathing, but continue with the So Hum mantra. You might find that after some breath, this nostril frees up. And perhaps you can then breathe freely through both nostrils, maybe. Still stay with the So Hum mantra, but notice what feelings arise if there's a freeing up of both nostrils. You might notice a subtle sensation of joy arising, a sense of union as we're addressing the energy channels here, the sun energy, the moon energy, ha, ta. And with that, perhaps the energy flows more through the center channel then to Shumna Nadi. Stay with the So Hum, the awareness, for just a few more breaths. Then letting go of the mantra, letting go of the control of your breath, and just breathing naturally, perhaps holding still and observing yourself. Perhaps that change within your emotional state or your overall state of energy remains with you. And even if that's just for a little while. If your legs are extended or there's a bolster underneath, please remove the bolster. Then bend the knees and place the feet down, hip distance apart. You may walk the feet a little bit up towards the buttocks, but no stress or strain around your knee joint. The block is within your reach. And you might lengthen your arms down by your sides. Let your toes look good, knees, feet hip distance apart, arms grounding down, fingers extending towards the toes. And as you breathe in, tilt the pelvis a little and start to raise your hips just a tiny bit off the ground. And as you're breathing out, roll the back down onto the floor. Rolling bridge as you inhale, tilt and lift. And with the out breath, rolling back down onto the mat. Keep that flowing just for a few more breaths. You might alter the height of the bridge with which you're moving. Keep it to what is suitable for you today, rather than thinking of necessarily bringing it all the way up. Stay in tune with the bodily sensations. Perhaps you need a little bit less, perhaps you need a little bit more, whatever it is for you. Keep rolling up and down a few more times, in tune with the movement of the spine. And then in your next breath in, when you're lifting the hips up, placing the block underneath the sacrum. You might choose to keep it flat. You might choose to bring it halfway up. See what feels right for you. We will stay here for a little while and feel free to change that in between if the setting you've chosen initially doesn't work for you anymore. Allowing to settle into the bridge, feeling how when the hips are supported, it feels slightly differently. And you might also choose with that support to relax your arms. So the arms might roll a little bit out, finding a relaxation sensation in your shoulders as well. You might then choose to extend your left leg out. If that extension is challenging for you, you might just slide the foot a little bit further away, keeping it moderate. You could choose to actively point out through the toes though, creating some length over the left side of the body. Take a few breaths, let that sensation settle. And then if it feels right, raising the right arm up. So opposite arm reaching above you. Again, take a few breaths. If there's a space here, reach out into the fingertips of that hand. And if all of this feels right, you might now turn your head to the left. Perhaps stay connected to a sensation of diagonal lengthening from your left toes to your right hand fingertips, and exploring other sensations in the body as well. Turning the head back into the center, soften through arm and leg, release right arm back down by the side, and then step the left foot back down onto the ground. Take a moment to feel the opposite sides. And as usual, there's no expectation that the other side is the same. Rather a curiosity what the other side feels like. As you might now extend your right leg either out fully or sliding the foot a little bit away. Perhaps pointing out actively again through the toes, and then staying here for a few breaths, just noticing sensations. Next option, if your shoulder obliges, raising the left arm over the head. Perhaps you can extend that arm fully. Now we're pointing down towards the right side toes and perhaps stretching up to the left hand fingertips. Taking in all the sensations that you might be able to experience here. The length across right toes to left fingertips. And an option to roll your head to the right. Staying in complete awareness of the little changes and the impact that they might have. Centering the head first, releasing the arm back down by the side, and then stepping the right foot back down onto the ground. Take a couple of breaths here and observe any general occurrences in the body or else. From where you can then make a choice to stay supported by the block, remove it all together, or perhaps do what I will be doing, lifting the hips up and changing the block to a halfway setting if it isn't already. So this is an ideal choice for what is potentially happening next, or you keep your bridge active and leave the hips up in the air. You might then choose to interlace the hands behind your back and extend the arms onto the floor, maybe even walk your shoulders under. Now, if you're on the block, your elbows might be a bit bent. If you're free flowing, your arms might be extended down towards the foot end of the mat. Drawing your arms towards the right as your neck sprays out and trying to hold your hips evenly. Breathe in, draw them to the center, and out, moving them to the left. You might repeat that once more to each side. Stay nice and slow, use long deep breaths. And out breath to move the hands to the side or the arms. Breath in, come to center. Now, if you're free flowing, I suggest to release the hands and roll the spine down for a moment. Others release the hands too. Keep resting upon the block. Inhaling fully, and perhaps an out breath from your mouth. If you're free flowing, tilt the pelvis and raise the hips back up as you breathe in. Then for all, an odd interlace behind the back as a repeat. On the block, again, your elbows will be bent. Free flowing, your arms might be extended. Let's brace out and draw the arms to the left, mindful of your pelvic placement. Inhaling to the center, exhaling, draw them to the right. Let's repeat that once more to each side, moving on the out breath, centering on the in breath. When you come back to the center, release. Now, those of you on the block, lift your hips up too, remove the block, and then very slowly rolling your spine down onto the floor. Finding some ease here. Perhaps even letting your arms roll slightly out towards the sides. You might enjoy a little sway of your knees. Perhaps the head likes to roll along. Just freeing up some movement in other directions. And you could then choose to roll over upon your favorite side and help yourself towards a seated position. Now I will use the block again, this time to come to sit. And while an easy pose is definitely an option, because of my right leg, I will sit more upon my heels, but I'm using a block as well just to keep the pressure at ease in the knee joints. You could also sit, of course, differently if your body requires that. Now, I have also taken the strap here down in front of me, and I'll keep that for now by the side. Let's place the fingertips upon the shoulders and get a sense of sitting upright. Taking perhaps your left elbow back and then starting to lift that as you draw the right elbow back. And we're circling the shoulders, but one after the other. Allowing a twist in the upper body to occur as we're changing sides. Pause it, then lift from the opposite and rolling backwards now. still, there might be a twist in your upper body occurring. Then release that as you breathe in, open the arms and let the arms land down by the sides. Perhaps have a little shake out of the shoulders, finding some softness there. And you could then grab your strap. If you don't have one, you might choose an interlace of the hand. The strap is a little bit more gentle, as we can keep it at about shoulder distance apart. So you might take a breath in, lifting both arms up. Mine as usually look a little bit crooked. And you could breathe out and draw the arms a little bit further behind your back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down in front. Now you might turn the hands a little bit so the palms are looking upwards as you breathe in again. Lifting the strap, keep tension in it. Outwards, pull it back behind you. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, soften. Now hold again in a more neutral position as you breathe in, lifting up. Exhaling, pulling down behind. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll go one more round. So turn again so the palms are looking upwards, wrists pointing outwards, breathing in. Exhale, draw it behind. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale to soften it down. Now you might bring that whole strap behind your back. You might have the backs of your hands now facing forward, again about shoulder distance apart, perhaps slightly wider. And then if possible, lifting the arms up behind your back, create tension in the strap. Now start to pull on the right side, but keep your body in the same shape, reaching out towards the side. Inhale, come to center, then pull on the other, breathing out. So you're inhaling to center, exhaling, pulling. We're more about the shoulder movement at this stage and the strengthening out to the side. Inhale, exhale, back over. Now hold is tension behind your back and start to twist this way. The strap does barely move, but your spine is moving. Inhaling, come back to center, and then hold the strap again in tension, twisting to the other side. Let's repeat that once more to each. It's a bit more strength here involved than in a normal twist. And then come back to the center, relax your arms down, bring the strap back out in front of you, perhaps back to shoulder distance, maybe wider this time. Take a breath in, lift your arms up, fingers looking forward. Now we're pulling down on the right hand side, bending the left elbow and finding a side bend, looking down to the floor. Inhale, pull yourself up. Pull down on the other side, upper elbow is bending over the head. You're looking down to the floor. Breathing in and out to repeat. Inhaling, pull back up. Exhaling, pull down, look down. One more to each side. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling. Breath in to rise. Out to the other side. Inhale to lift back up. And then relax. Now keep that strap unorderly and leave it to the side of the mat. We will use it again later. I would ask you if that is possible to come off any sitting support. Place that to the side as well. And come to sit back upon the heels with your feet flat. Your arms might be extended forward. An extended child's pose. On the in-breath, lift up onto all fours, knees about hip distance apart. Then tuck the toes under, reach arms further forward, hips up and back as you exhale. Then inhale, slide back into all fours, flatten your feet. Outwards, sit your bottom down to the heels, returning to extended child's pose. Inhaling all fours, toes tuck under, arms forward, hips up and back, puppy pose. Inhaling, come back to all fours, flatten the feet. Outwards, extended child's pose. Inhaling all fours, tucking toes under, arms forward, hips up and back. Inhale back to all fours, out past the extended child's pose. Now you can stay with the movement as it is right now, or breathe into all fours and out for a downward facing dog. Still the inhale is back to all fours and flatten the feet. Out past remains, extended child's pose. So your choice how you're flowing between the puppy and the extended child's pose, or the downward facing dog. Keep that flowing for another 3 rounds. Aligned with your breath. When you completed your rounds, land back on all fours or stay in a down dog. Walking knees or feet to the front end of the mat. Feet come down, body is folding forward. Take a long outburst from here and uncurl the spine to standing. If your shoulders a loving shrug, let the arms relax. You might take a couple of deep breaths, just simply standing, letting your energies come down, meeting you grounded on the mat. Now, while you are doing this, I place the blanket towards where my knees might be landing. If you need some knee support, you might do the same. On the in-breath now, lifting the arms up high. Maybe the gaze comes up too. Touch the palms of the hands, bend the knees, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. For the inhale, lengthen the spine forward into a half lift. For the out-breath now, stepping your right foot far down the mat. Perhaps beginning with the knee on the floor, you might untuck the toes. You might even launch a little bit forward, but keep your spine long. Stepping back with the second knee, if you like a kneeling plank, roll forward directly into it. Full plank is your other option. Keep elbows by the sides and an out-breath to land down on the front of the body. Touch down through the tops of the feet. Lift your heart for a cobra. Out-breath to soften to the mat. Inhaling, lift back up. Same options here. You might tuck the toes under and find a puppy pose, or you could choose the full downward facing dog. If you're in the puppy, come up to all fours, lengthen spine, and right leg is coming up on the breath in, and for the breath out, helping or landing the right foot forward. The same here, we might lean a little bit into the lunge, but keeping your back long, including your neck. Tucking backside toes under, lift the knee off the floor, take a step forward, find Uttanasana again, your forward fold. In breath, half lift. Out breath, forward bend. Now both knees will be bending as we're starting to lift the upper body, perhaps even the arms reaching up, raising in. And then let the arms return to your sides. Exhale. Deep breath in and out. Other side, breathing in to lift. Hands to touch, soften the knees, back to your forward bend. Inhale to half lift. Now the exhale, stepping your left foot down the mat. You prefer the kneeling version, stay with the kneeling version. Otherwise, have your fingertips on the floor, lengthen the spine here as well. Then step back to a kneeling or a full plank position. Outwards again, lower to the mat. Choice, lifting the whole body, upward facing dog, or returning to cobra, inhaling. Exhale, release to the floor. Breathing in, your choice as you rise to all fours to stretch back to the puppy or find it down the dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your choice from here if you're on your knees or fours. Lifting the left leg up on a breath in. And on the out breath, bringing the foot forward. Same option, knee can be on the floor or off the mat. Find length in your spine, include your neck. And out breath to standing forward then. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Bend your knees and rise all the way up on your in-breath. Then let the arms come back to the sides. Take a few breaths. Eyes might be closed, or you might choose a solid gazing point. As you open the eyes, you might start turning towards the long side end of the mat. Take your strap with you if you like to use it. Your feet will have a moderate distance for now. As I said earlier, my distance is much closer today than any of yours, hopefully. You might have about 1 meter between your feet. Grab the strap. Start to turn your right toes out to the short edge and the left heel slightly to the other short edge. If your arms fully extend, reach them out and create a sense of tension in the strap. Arms about shoulder height as we're reaching. Hold that tension. And as you breathe out, start to tilt that into a triangle. Mindful here of the front leg. So push a bit down into the ball of the foot. See if that can be an extended triangle. Your arms long, lightly pulling on the strap, either looking up or looking down. So the only thing different here is the tension we're creating. Notice perhaps differences to previous experiences. And then take an inhale to pull yourself back up and release the strap down. Now soften both of your knees and swivel your feet around. So the left toes to the short edge, the right heel to the other. You might bring in a similar tension. Pulling on your strap, ground through the front foot, and an out breath to lean back toward the triangle. Now my version here is again modified, but your arms could be fully extended. Attention on the strap, ball of the front foot into the ground, gaze up or down. Explore the sensations that might feel different. Then an in-breath, pulling yourself up, an out-breath to release the arms and turn the toes momentarily forward. Now I will change the strap to behind the back. I will also change the grip on the strap. so that my fingers are looking forward. Tension between the arms, if you can, back out to shoulder height. Now turn your right toes back out to the short edge. Take a much further step back, further than 1 meter apart if that's available, and begin a bend into the front knee. Now look over towards your front hand and create that tension again in the strap. So your hold is to create tension into the shoulders, but in a sense of strengthening rather than up to the ears. If your fingers are looking forward, the tension could be moderate, but if it's preferred, turn your fingers upwards. Hold, breathe. Warrior 2. And if right for you, pull the hand down behind and exalt your warrior. So your right arm might now be extended towards the ceiling. You could keep tension in the strap. Gaze could be upwards, or you might lower it down to the back foot. Take a breath in, lift yourself, relax the arms, the strap behind you, and swivel your feet over towards the other side. Again, keep a wider distance here. Bend into the front knee. Then recreate the strength behind you. So arms ideally out shoulder height. Fingers might look forward to start with. Front knee is bent. Gaze goes towards the front hand. And you might hold that tension with fingers looking forward or fingers looking upwards. See what's better for the shoulder joint. But keep the tension in the strap. So we're building that strength in the shoulders, in the arms. Additionally to the solid stance in the floor. Virabhadrasana 2. You could then choose to draw the strap down with that lifting the other arm, either looking upwards or turning your gaze to look back and down. Keep the tension in the strap. And then slowly release the arms, swivel your feet forward, perhaps bring the stance shorter, keep the strap within your hands, and you might now look to the short front edge of the mat. If you like to use the strap, you might place it underneath the ball of your right foot. Hold on with your arms long. Shift weight to the left and start to pull a bend knee up towards you. So it's quite effortless in the leg that you're raising. You might wrap the hands around the strap if that feels good. Keep your elbows by the sides and perhaps an extension of the leg forward. Hold yourself tall, mindful that you're still standing upright. There's a tendency to lean backwards. Bending the knee again and carefully guiding the foot down. You might place the strap underneath the ball of the other foot. I will not demonstrate this side, but you might have strength here in the arms, holding on a tight strap. Then a breath in to raise the left knee up. Keep elbows close, shoulders at ease, perhaps wrap the hands around the strap. And the next option might be to extend the leg forward. Find steadiness in your gaze. Take a Utthita Hasta Parangustasana, supported with the strap. Bending the knee again, carefully release the foot down, remove the strap, drop it to the side of the cat. We might use it again if we get to it. And turn yourself as you might be looking forward, coming to lie down on the front of your body. Perhaps arriving here in Makrasana, the crocodile. Hands might be stacked, forehead upon the stacked hands, elbows wide. Now you could choose to turn your toes outward, extend the legs wide, more grounding effect, or touch your big toes, let the heels roll out, more gentle on the lower part of the spine. Make shoulders easy and start to deepen your breaths. While the breath naturally pushes into the mat, let it also expand out to the sides of your rib cage. Deliberately expanding into the ribs now, and perhaps even into the back of the rib cage. Then take your feet back to about hip distance apart, tops of the feet down. An option to extend your arms out into diagonals. You might now choose to take a breath in, lifting your right arm, your left leg, and maybe the head lightly off the floor. Then brace out and land it again. Opposite side as you breathe in to lift and out to land. You might repeat that in that slower pace, twice more with each side. When you complete it, you could choose another round with each, or a longer hold where you're lifting everything possible off the floor. Perhaps both arms, both legs, the head. And then land it again down onto the mat. Hands might now come underneath the shoulders, lifting up onto the hands and the knees. And you might walk the knees a little bit in, and if available, settle into a child's pose. You can support the head with a block, your hands, or rest it down onto the floor if preferred. Arms can be softly extended or even along your side. Perhaps reminded of the breaths into the sides and the back of the rib cage. You might now bring your hands down by the sides of your knees. Take an out breath to uncurl your spine. I will take a folded blanket now and place that underneath me to sit upon. Lengthening both legs out towards the front. Might use the strap again. This is again optional. But sometimes it feels nice to do things a bit differently. So I will take the strap around both balls of the feet. You might have your legs fully extended. You might keep a little bend in the knees. I like a wrap around the hands and snuggle your elbows back down by the sides for now. So shoulders are easy. There's tension now in the strap, which might help you to sit a bit straighter. Taking an in-breath. And as you breathe out, start to draw yourself a bit forward. See if you can keep the spine long. Perhaps you might shorten the grip on the strap. Perhaps you can still stay long as you take your next out breath and perhaps come deeper yet again. Keep a length in the neck and gently look at your toes. And from here, you might make use of the strap to draw yourself gradually with each out breath a little bit closer down. As we are using the strap, be mindful that the shoulders are kind of easy and perhaps that your back stays long. So we're folding more from the hips. Tension or discomfort arising in the lower back, please bend your knees a little bit more. And then surrender to this hold for a few longer out breaths. When you're next inhaling, lengthen your spine a little. Might release the strap slightly, perhaps sitting up a bit taller and taking your right hand out of the strap only to reach for both ends. Your arm might be long here. With that, we're holding our feet next to each other and then a breath in to open the left arm backwards. If you prefer, you can keep the arm floating, reaching into the fingertips, or you might place the fingertips down and turn into the twist like this. Please stay attuned with where your feet are so the pelvis is in balance. Inhale, looking forward, and exhale, changing the hand on the strap. Keep your feet parallel and take a breath in, reaching the right arm back. Same options. You might extend back into the fingertips or touch them to the floor. The legs staying balanced. Extend your pelvis as you turn to the other side. Take an inhale to look forward and an exhale to release. We won't use the strap now, so you could place that out of your way. You might bring your blanket back as a cushion underneath the head. And we will conclude the physical part of the practice using the block. If you have a wall really close by, you could place your legs up the wall, which would mean you sit with the side of the hip tip and roll onto your back. If you don't, roll onto your back, place the feet down comfortably, arms by the sides. And just similar to how we begin our practice, gently lifting your hips up. You might find it sufficient to have the block down flat underneath the sacrum. Some of you might prefer it halfway up. Please make sure that the rest of your vertebrae are hanging free, the movable ones. And then perhaps take your feet off the floor and even extending them towards the ceiling. If your block feels really solid underneath you and supportive, let your arms roll out to the sides. Keep knees soft, ankles soft. You might for a moment play with the toes, the feet, the ankles. But eventually just finding a slow out breath from your mouth and stillness. Allowing this gentle energy that is reversed to flow from your toes Down the feet, the ankles, lower legs, knees, thighs, pelvis, and then right up into the torso. Perhaps you notice that your heartbeat is slowing down. Perhaps you even notice the breath slowing down. An ideal position, perhaps, on this hot day to practice again later. Later, when the heat has arrived fully, you might come back to this shape. You can now choose to bend your knees softly towards the chest and then slowly landing your feet back down onto the ground. If you did use a block, lift the hips, remove it, and slowly land back down. You were against the wall, bend the knees, roll onto your side. And then going to find a slow moving twist. Very gently, same as we begin, let the knees roll for a moment. And let the knees land over towards the right-hand side. Roll onto that side, touch the palms. Extend the arms out from the shoulders. And if your shoulder allows you, take a deep breath, let the upper hand slide in a half circle all the way over the head and then to behind you as you extend your arm out. Let both shoulders soften, maybe even looking to the opposite arm. Then let the arms soften, bring your knees back to center. Let them roll over to the other side. Whole body rolling over, arms extending at shoulder height, palms touching. Wait for a deep inhale and slide the upper hands, fingertips, all the way in a half circle over the head until your arms might be extended out and potentially turning the gaze to the opposite side. Shoulders softening. Let your arms soften again, bring the knees to the center. Pause here for a moment, perhaps to adjust your back on the floor. And you can now choose your resting pose. Constructive rest, supportive for the lower back, feet wide, knees dropping into hold. Or legs out long, perhaps over a bolster and letting them roll apart. The arms might be open, so the shoulders at ease and the palms of your hands looking upwards. The mind is very challenged, stare at a solid spot against the ceiling, or perhaps you prefer to close your eyes. Finding stillness. And perhaps aware for a moment of the breath flowing, the bridge of your nose. Aware where the breath is more dominant, left or right nostril. And maybe bringing the attention then to the more blocked nostril for a few breaths. Maybe a sense of balance in the breath arises. Perhaps it doesn't. And then let go of the awareness of the breath, unless you prefer to stay focused on it. You might choose instead to imagine a vibrant golden light above the top of your head. And with each gentle breath, this light becomes brighter and might even start to tingle with light. You can then begin to visualize this light cascading down over the shoulders, down through your arms, into your torso, and through your spinal column. Vibrant energy. The light brings life into every tissue it passes through. The golden light moves through the body from the crown to your feet. As you rejuvenate every cell in your body with your breath flowing. Invigorating your body with your own relaxed awareness. Fill yourself with this golden light, even beyond the body, into your energy field. And you have filled your body and energy with sparkling life. Start to deepen your breath. Bring your attention back. The touch of clothing and mat. Sounds around you. I then start to move. And savor that perfection of this very moment. Or you could slowly bend your knees. Roll over onto your favorite side. And gently allow yourself to come back to a seat. Perhaps some of that essence of the light can be captured within the palms of your hands as you rest them down in front of your heart space. Gaze low, your eyes closed. This golden light, sparkling energy is available for you. Become aware of it and bring it in. As we all carry this within ourselves. In this place, we will bow and gently extend toward each other. Namaste.